Wait, I know I just saw a card flipped over. Oh, here it is. Five of Wands. Interesting. So that's the one card that's flipped over. So someone taking the hard way to do something is giving a vibe of starting this energy, because the Five of Wands in this deck is like they fighting over ice cream that is enough for each one of them to have their own, okay? And so it's giving this energy of someone making something much harder than what it needs to be. And these are typically people who like to be in the, y'all know how I am about that victim mindset, honey, okay? But someone who makes things harder than what it needs to be, and then when things don't go their way, they turn into they start beating themselves up, which is really just an indicator of their true internal and their lack of work through their shadow work. Ooh, we about to ruffle some feathers today, honey. I feel this one. We about to ruffle some feathers today. Good morning, Samaj. All right, and I also wrote down a couple messages of what I was feeling this morning when I was just getting freshened up and stuff. I am going to come back to this, but I want to tap into this energy because Gremlin came through already with this Five of Wands and saying someone is making something harder than what it needs to be. And then when things don't go a certain way, like turning into this like, oh, I'm so dumb. Oh, why didn't I see what to do right? Like it's an approach to when you do something wrong. But grandmother wants you to see that you're taking the long way. You're doing something harder than what it needs to be, or you're thinking about it harder than what it needs to be. It's giving a vibe of someone in a business field, right? And they're thinking about, oh, it's too much competition. But grandmother is saying it's not really competition when you zone in on who your customer truly is. Because, so for example, it could be two people with a t-shirt company, right? It could be one who does philosophical quotes, and then it could be one who do funny quotes. Their market is going to be different. The customer that they're marketing to is going to be different. But if in your head you're telling yourself, oh, it's going to be too hard, it's going to be, because you're seeing yourself in someone else's lane, that's when that becomes more difficult, because you haven't zoned in on what is your lane. What do you truly want? What does it take to get there? Don't look at everyone else. Don't look at what they're doing, how they had to do it to get there. What is your lane? Because what you have to offer is still different, even down to tarot, for example. And tarot is just one method of divination among hundreds, which always gets me when people say it's evil and it's of the devil. Do you not realize people can read energy just being around? Like, come on now. Come on now. Come on now. I feel like I'm channeling through a grandmother who they will get fresh. They don't like dumb stuff, because I'm really like, as soon as I started this message, I started feeling like I don't have time for this dumb stuff. Okay, this was a grandmother that back in the days, like when women were expected to be dainty and submissive, this grandmother was just like, yeah, no, that's not working for me like this. And so she took another way. So this is the energy of what I'm tapping into. And if it's not your grandmother, then it's a grandmother or someone who's like a grandmother that surrounds you, or friends, okay? Because I feel like I done turned into a Medea, if we want to be honest, as soon as I started tapping into this energy. Because I'm just hearing this vibe of what you eat don't make me sheep. So what I eat don't make somebody else what's name. So I had somebody ask me why I stopped doing certain types of readings. And the thing is that publicly, that's not my lane anymore. I do it with my members, but I know what my mission is. I know what my purpose is, and I'm staying in my lane. I'm doing what I've always done, what I like to do consistently on the channel. And That's my lane. I'm going to focus on my lane. I'm not going to look at what this reader is doing. Oh, let me title my video like them. Or, oh, let me do this like them. Or, oh, this look like this working for them. No, I am in my lane. Tapped into the energies that I want myself to tap into, because people don't realize when they start coveting another person's journey or their life, it's like you're trying to tap into their frequency, but if your frequency is not a match to their frequency, you're only going to affect yourself, which is this Five of Wands energy. It gives a vibe of somebody running and falling and scraping up their legs and their hands and then getting mad at somebody else. Ain't nobody tell you to run. Grandmother, what you got with this Five of Wands? It's giving really do the work. And when one thing doesn't work, try another thing. It's giving resilience. And then I also just heard, you think what you're going through is bad. You should have seen what I went through. So this was like a grandmother who went through some difficult living situations a lot through her life. Like she even had times when it's giving Southern vibes, because I'm picturing someone who stays in the deep country and like them not having electricity sometimes. Or like them even having stories of having to catch their food and kill it. I'm getting that type of vibe. Like you don't know difficulty when you can just go to the store to buy your food. You don't have to worry about growing it, raising it up, killing it. I'm hearing this generation are some crap. Oh, Granny! This grandmother energy said that we are acting very weak. It's something about the current energies that make us give up too fast or something, they're saying. Like it's giving this energy of resilience or endurance. Okay, Grandma, what is going on? Okay. Let me go to another deck. Oh, Granny, today is Monday, which is Moon Day. So let's get us a Moonology card. Ooh. Grandmother, give me one card. Your dreams need a practical plan. So around Scorpio season, the full moon during Scorpio season, your dreams need a practical plan. And you know what's funny? Scorpio rules 8th house. 8th house actually deals with financial woes and financial secrets, financial fears. It rules debt. It rules failed ventures. Okay, it rules the things that people try to keep silent and they don't want to share with nobody else, but it's still happening. This is giving a vibe of needing to put together a practical plan, a practical financial plan for something. It's giving this vibe of not being in the dark about something, being practical about it. So planning for it, not just being dreamy. So some of you all, I hope this ain't y'all on my channel. And you know what? I'm sorry, I had to jump in and say that. Grandma, let me jump in real quick. If you still thinking like this and you on my channel, I mean, you watching somebody else who keep pushing this, okay? Stop doing all that manifesting and not doing no work. You're doing too much manifesting and not enough work. There's not some magical thing that's just about to come down and save you. You are the magic. You got to become the magic. You get what I'm saying? Somebody needs to hear that, because somebody out here listening to somebody who telling them that $1 million about to be deposited in their bank account next week. Like, come on now. Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. Come through, Grandma. Now we came back to this deck again. I just realized. Alrighty then. What's up with this practical plan, Grandma? We have the Three of Knives. Getting rid of disappointment. I'm hearing doing the same thing over and over is insanity. So some of you all may continuously keep doing this same thing that has been proven to not be working for you, or is not meant to be for you. And you need to take the disappointment and go back to the table and like reconfigure how you're going to approach something, but with more of a plan type of energy, very Taurus energy. So, you know, that's that fixed energy. Like, this is the plan. You may have some backup energy with it, but you can't just fly off the handle with these things. You got to have it planned out, y'all. You got to have it planned out. You can't say you want to be a millionaire in this matrix and not have habits of a millionaire in this matrix. You got to have the habits. So you got to start preparing yourself with those habits. Because if not, if you're going to keep acting like a 100-naire or a 1,000-naire in the matrix, then be okay with having that if that's the energy that you're putting out. Because matrix energy and currency is different from spiritual currency. But you can't just use straight spiritual currency for matrix currency unless you combine them with the work of what it takes for the matrix currency. So stop wishing and wishing and wishing and get up and do the work. And trust your path. What works for one person may not work for you. And so that's why you have to test out different things. Some of you all may not be testing out something or trying something different, but you've been feeling like you should try something different. It's something that you've been wanting to do, though. It's not like you're trying something different just because, like, oh, this is going to bring this. But it's like you trying something different because you've been wanting to. But it may be a fear of how that different is going to be received. Whenever you're doing what you want to do, you're going to be attracting your village that is that core village. You got your core village of people, okay? You're going to have the supporters who are like the core supporters. Then you got people who are going to be like, you know, they're cheering you on, they support, but, you know, they got other people they mess with too. You know what I'm saying? Then you got people on the outside of it who they just like what you have to offer. So it's not quite support, but it's more so what it is you have to offer to them. So they take that and, you know what I'm saying, do whatever with it. It's okay for all of it. You need to know the differences, I'm hearing. You need to know the differences, the different levels of support or different levels of people who will be around you, like on your journey of getting somewhere. And that may be where some of the disappointment is coming from too. You wanting certain people to show up a certain way, but it's just that they're not that core group of people. They're not the core who's meant to be those people to do that. And it's just someone else. You get what I'm saying? So for example, my relationship with members in my Discord is different from members who are not in the Discord, because we communicate, we talk, you know what I'm saying, we get to learn each other, right? But then members, my relationship with them are different from my collective in the public, because we have our own like membership lives and things of that nature where we get to just breathe, and you know what I'm saying? So there's different levels of relationships that's there. And so you have to have an understanding of your relationship with your family, or how your family supports you. Like, this is what they're able to do. This is them. If you don't have that, that's fine too. You got to go out and find it. And the way you find it is by being authentically you, not doing what you think everybody else wants you to do, or what a few people want you to do. You get what I'm saying? It's the few people you get. And so you just allow that to help mold it. Don't let the wrong people mold your stuff. Like, so say you coming out with, okay, so for example, say when I was coming out with my nail polish line, right? I'm not going to ask someone who doesn't use nail polish their advice on business with it, because they're not my market. You get what I'm saying? And so you just need to learn that. And there's a lot of books out there for that. So it's giving now this energy of how are you utilizing your daily time? How much do you consume? What you're consuming, is it benefiting you, or is it just passing time? Because a lot of people like to say, oh, I don't know how to do this. It's the internet out there. And that's why I'm hearing this grandmother energy coming back. We be complaining about stuff, and we have things more readily available to us than they did. Google it. Start looking it up. Critical thinking. Of course, you're not going to find it if you're just watching gossip all day, worrying about what's going on in a Christian life or somebody else's life. Focus on your life. Focus on what you say you want to get done. Every day, I want to do this. I want to do, but what are you spending your time on? And I feel like that message came out when I wrote a couple messages to myself. What you spend your time on is what you value. What you spend your time on is what you value. Who you spend your time on is who you value. Period. Now, whether you give it to them or not. So, for example, even people, so say you, first person come to mind is Tasha K. You don't like Tasha K, right? So in your head, you don't support her. You don't like her. But you watch her. So you do admire her. You do support her. You just have some lower vibrations inside of you that you got to figure out. The problem ain't her. It's you. Stop watching her then. You get what I'm saying? Like, some people is giving this vibes, and that's where that 3 of Knives is. You, and then the 5 of Wands. Watching out for putting yourself into situations and then wanting to blame somebody else, or saying that it's somebody else's energy. We have all these things readily available to us. And if we got time to be sitting here being involved in somebody else's life and seeing what they got going on, we can put that same energy into our life. We can stop hoping and wishing and actually put action forth. Or you're going to find yourself in the same position next year and the year after, wondering, well, the tarot said my life will get better, and why is it this not happening? Because you ain't doing nothing. That's why ain't nothing changing. Tarot is just going off the current energy. So if your current energy is in a very hopeful place, of course it's going to pull out the energy of what you're hoping for, what you're wanting. But you got to bring it about. So for example, something tells you it's supposed to motivate you to direct yourself and guide yourself in the path for it to happen. But if you don't, it ain't gonna happen. So that's why it's all about taking what resonates, because what resonates, you're gonna act on. What doesn't, you just gonna be stuck. And that's how that works. That's spiritual. The laws of connection. Same thing on how when a bunch of women are in one space, eventually their cycles start syncing together. Literally have people coveting other people's lives. Yes. But the thing is accountability. It's like we're getting away from accountability, it feels like. People are getting slaps on the wrist. This grandmother ain't liking it, y'all. This grandmama also used to use a word that's considered derogatory against a certain group, so I ain't gonna say it because it just popped in my head. And I'm like, what? But that is how they used to talk back in them days. So but all in all, it's the energy of, for example, back in these energies. So what I'm feeling is like the man was meant to work. And if one job didn't do it, he had to get two. There was no complaining. And when a man wasn't hardworking at those times, they basically said he was less than a man. That was the energy. Because men represent masculinity, which represents strength and work. So if you're not doing what you represent, it means you don't have a purpose for being that thing. You have people who are running from hard work. That's what this feels like with the Your Dreams Need a Practical Plan. You have people who are running from hard work. They look at other people and wonder, how do they have this? How are they doing this? How are they creating this? How are they doing? Because they're working for it. They're doing the work. They sacrifice things. They don't watch. I don't watch all that. Who's coming for you? What does your ex have to say? Your next love life? I don't watch that. What is that doing? I'm living. I'm going to attract that. I'm going to watch the stuff that's helping me see myself right now and how I can better myself. That's what I'm watching. I don't care about that other stuff because it's going to happen. Because I'm in the energy. Heck, it might be already happening. The internet will never know. But this is just giving the vibes of, what are you putting your time on? Why are you consistently worried about the past? Why are you consistently worried about these people who kept hurting you, who was toxic, you're keeping yourself in your pain. You're keeping yourself a victim. Why do you got to keep hearing who's doing spells and this karmic and this, and that? That's not going to help you. It's not helping you with anything, but stay a victim. Unless it's telling you what you need to do to get up there and start making them dreams become a reality on what it's saying that you manifested, then it's BS. And it's feeding delusions. And that's the laws of psychology. Now, all your life is together. Your life is together, but you have issues in one area. And I'm going to be honest, y'all. Love tarot messes up a lot of relationships. And I'm going to leave it there. It messes up a lot of relationships because sometimes you have people who will take something as being theirs and it's not really theirs. So now you're messing up a whole good relationship based off of a card versus you trusting your energy and your intuition. You wasn't feeling this way about this person until after you listened to the reading. And that's why I don't do love readings on my channel. That's why I don't do zodiac readings as much on my channel. It's not for me. That's not my purpose. And it's important for you to know your purpose. Now, I do them in my membership areas because the energy in my membership area is different from the collectives. So I don't mind tapping into it. But as a reader, sometimes we get tired of tapping into certain energy continuously. We can tell when people aren't doing the work. I can tell when my collective is still wasting their time doing other things. Which is why I keep certain content in membership areas, because at least I know that they're working on stuff. Grandma done left the building, honey. Grandma done left the building. Grandma done left the building. Yes, they can be a trap. They oftentimes, I've seen relationships crumble over love readings. Seriously. Seriously. Like I told my friend, don't spend so much time on the internet watching other people live. Yup, live life yourself. Exactly. Beautiful rising, everyone. I hope you enjoyed your first live, Tanisha. You saw Healings of Ancient Ancestors. You saw E.T. live? Long story short, y'all, focus on what we need to focus on. Listen, so on one of my phones, right, I have my notifications off. Okay, because one thing about it, we got to think about olden days, why they were able to be so productive in things. They didn't have as many things that were as immediate in front of their face, breaking their connection, breaking their productivity. You know what I'm saying? Even now we got text messaging, so somebody, they ain't gotta call you and wait for the lines to get clear. They ain't gotta send mail through the Pony Express to get your attention. All they do is do that and they get your attention like that. So we're easily distracted now, right? So these are things that I think about, that I look at, and how it affects us psychology and cognitively, how it affects our productivity, which is why we've kind of become more of a lazy generation now, right? At first it was the microwave generation, of what they were calling the millennials, but now we just in a full-blown technology, you know what I'm saying? And so humans are losing their intellect. Their brain usage is falling, actually. Humans are becoming dumber, believe it or not, right? So I turn my my notifications off my phone so that I don't get text messages readily. I have to literally go to my phone, open the text messages to see if a text message is in there for me to know that I have a text. So baby, yesterday I was so busy like doing membership stuff and just getting some stuff updated on my website, and I didn't even get a chance to look at my phone all yesterday. So I wake up this morning and, you know, someone was like, look at your text messages. I'm like, I had missed calls, missed text messages, because I don't get the notification for it. And so I'm like, oh, and they were just checking on me. I'm like, baby, I didn't even see it. You hear me? And that same thing happened the day before. Same thing happened the day before. So that's why I always say, don't call me if it's an emergency. I'm not one of those people who make themselves readily available to everyone right when they want it. That's not reality. Okay? I'm never going to get anything done if I don't have boundaries. And I call myself the boundary queen. You hear me? That's why a lot of people don't like me. Because I have boundaries. And I'm not going to chase you. I can go days without talking to you. As well as do not disturbs. You know what I'm saying? Utilize those. Yes, JG. Yes, JG. It helps you. Because a lot of these things, it makes things distracting. So start with turning off your notifications. So, you know, I'm not on social media anymore. But for anyone who is on social media, if you want to cut down on the amount of time you spend on there, turn off your notifications. Start there. Because if you're not getting that notification It's not taking your attention off. That's why our attention span is so off and so short. Because we always, as soon as one notification done, you got another one. And then you got this. Then you want to check your email. I don't even have my emails on push notifications. You hear me? I have to log in and look at that mailbox to know if I have email. No one has readily available access to. My grandma was in my favorites and she ain't here no more. So no one has readily available access to me. They don't. I got things to do. You know, running 2 businesses and working on my dissertation, which keep, you know, I have other responsibilities, video content. Like, I work a lot. And if I kept my notifications on, I would never get anything done. I would never finish writing books. I would never finish reading books. I would never finish learning, like, because I'm always going to be distracted. So if you want to know how some people ask how I do it, stop allowing yourself to be distracted. Start getting control of your mind. Because right now, technology is running a lot of the collective's mind. Listen, that D&D, definitely, honey. And you know, Kimberly, I usually do those lives with my members when we do our member-only lives. But I was just called to kind of do it public. It's not something I'm going to be doing all the time. But I do go live every other Saturday with all my members. As a thank you to all my members, this Saturday I'm doing free personal readings for them. So I'm excited for that. Because I was looking at my timeline of a lot of people and I was just like, wow, it's a lot of people who's been, you know what I'm saying, on the channel for a while. And, you know, I appreciate that. Because it takes a lot of energy to do this. And then after we do the reading, we be tired. So it takes some time to wind down before I can get into my other work. So definitely appreciate it. That's why I'm winding down right now, honey. I'm gonna make sure I'm not missing any comments. Happy Moon Day, Billy. So yeah, I also have Butterfly School of Transformation where we do 3 live classes a week. So feel free to check out that if you are looking for more live interaction. We're about halfway through 3rd semester. And I'm doing 1 more semester, then I'm done doing live teaching. One more semester, then I'm done doing live teaching. And then I'm just going to have a set price for all the classes that I have. For people who want to access the replays and stuff. I was sitting there thinking this morning, I was like, you know, people who get mad that, you know, some people put things behind paywalls and stuff. And I'm just like, do you not realize? And that's the people that I know that they don't be doing nothing with their life. Because when you get mad at 24, that's funny. When you get mad at someone for putting some things behind a paywall, it's like you don't understand the importance of your intellectual property and the time and energy and the finances that you put into practicing your craft, learning your craft. And there's nothing wrong with people supporting that. You know what I'm saying? Like I was looking at my student loan debt. I got over $100,000 in student loan debt, baby. So this knowledge that I have, it wasn't free. You hear me? It wasn't free. It wasn't free. The time that I didn't put in the stuff, the sacrifices I done made. So I want people around me who support that, you know? So when people get mad at that, I automatically know that they're like one of those leech personalities and they don't be doing nothing in their own life. Because people who do stuff in their own life, they understand and they respect it. You get what I'm saying? And so you can always tell the type of frequency that people be on by the comments and stuff that they make and what they be doing. I just be like, oh, okay, baby, I understand. Well, have a great one. It just mean that you ain't meant to be in there. Like, I ain't about to be hurt. And one thing I want you all to say too, So you need to find, and you don't have to say exactly what I say, but find your own mantra for when it comes to what you're attracting into your life. So I have a mantra that speaks into every day I am attracting more people who are meant to be in my village. And that's what I see. That's what I focus on. You know what I'm saying? Focus on that village. So before I make a decision of certain things, I'm bringing it up to the members in Discord. What y'all think about this? What's y'all feelings? What numbers y'all seeing? What y'all want me to do? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, allow your village to help you. Because your energy, you know that what you're doing and what you're providing is helping them. And that's what comes when you have that balance, you know? And stop trying to force people who ain't really in your stuff or meant to be in your village to be your village. And stop being mad at people who not in your village because they ain't meant to be there. And that's fine. That's why we talked about earlier in the reading, if you missed it, different levels of support. You got to understand that.